Ryan over here, Ticor Title and Team Title guy here in Southern California. And I just wanted to talk a moment about vesting and what it means and some of the implications that could be there. Now, first and foremost, I want to disclose that I am not an attorney and I am not a tax person. However, I can speak a little bit to the implications that are there based upon how you choose to take the vesting of your home. In many cases, it's going to be differences based upon how you can divide that real property and its interests, number one. Number two, a big part is also going to be about what happens upon death. Where does the property go? Who has the rights to the property at that point? And then there's things such as community property, and there's two variations really of that, which is reserved for married peoples. So that being said, the biggest differences are going to be on death and the division of it. So both joint tenancy and community property with right of survivorship, basically what it'll do is take the property, and if one of the two people are people on title, however many people, the property of the decedent will pass to the remaining survivors that are in title on that property. And maybe that works for some, but it doesn't work for others. On others with community property where it is not stated or even tenants in common, and one of the owners dies, let's say for example in this case there's two people on title and one dies, the person that's still alive retains their 50% interest, and the other 50% of the decedent will then pass on to their heirs. So that's kind of a big deal right there. Maybe you want that to go to the heirs and maybe you don't. Maybe you're in a second marriage and there's two different families and you want to make sure that each person respectively, that their heirs get what they deserve or what the parents would want them to have. These are things that can come into play that we just don't necessarily think about or want to think about because when times of passing are hard times to deal with. But this all comes together with estate planning as well. With certain variations as well, you can have equal interest or it has to be equal interest, or other variations you can have unequal interests. Now I do have a complete cheat sheet on teamtitleguide.com under Ticor resources, and then you'll look for the informational flyers tab. It'll say common ways of holding title or common vesting. I would advise you check out that flyer, see what the actual variations side by side as to what may mean the most to you, your family, and your estate planning. As individuals outside of an entity, I would strongly advise looking into it with an attorney and establishing an estate plan and or a living trust. In my opinion, this is one of the strongest ways that you can hold title is in the name of a trust, because upon passing, everything that you wish to happen is part of that document and that entity. And unfortunately, when people pass away, and there is money involved, unfortunately, there's a lot of challenges that can come if it's not designated specifically. If you want to make sure that your wishes are followed upon your passing, this is absolutely the best way to address these things. If you need a referral of one of these people, there's several that we work with, and I'd love to be able to share their information with you. Or check it out or reach out to your family attorney. So when it comes down to vesting, don't take it to chance. Do the research, put in the call, because it could have significant implications. Oh, one last thing when it comes to vesting. There is a new deed that was just recently released about a year and a half ago. I think it was January 1st, 2018. It came into effect here in California. It's called the TOD, the Transfer on Death Deed. All right, so this is a totally new document designed for people that may not be able to necessarily afford a living trust. And what it does is it's revocable before death. And what someone can do is record this deed and expressing their interest as to who they want to have the property upon their passing. However, that person has absolutely no rights or control over the property until the time of passing of the person who created the document or persons. Again, might be worth a phone call, check it in, let us know what we can do to support you and your efforts. If you're a consumer, please, again, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to an attorney of your choice, or we'd be glad to give you a few referrals to people that we work with on a regular basis. By all means, do your research because, again, the implications are just too large. And make sure that your family, in the way that you want it to be done, is taken care of in the way that, again, you would want to see it happen. Alrighty, God bless. If you're finding value in this information, or maybe you know somebody else that should see this, please feel free to share it. When it comes down to your real estate transactions, choosing the right title company does make a difference. So we stand behind our policies, and you got a face right here. You got any questions or challenges, I would love to be able to stand up and answer to them, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Alrighty, there's always a solution, and there's no sense running for the hills when things go sideways. We're here to address it, to help you, to walk you through. Alrighty, God bless. Thank you for choosing Ticor Title, and specifically Ryan Orr.